This is the only Indian film that was nominated for the Oscars in the 21st century. But the point is, this is a foolish movie and it fooled every one of us. Let me tell you how. What is this movie all about? A group of villagers in 1895 who knows nothing about cricket plays a match against Britishers to cut the tax, and they also win the match. This is completely unrealistic. But still, someone pursuing to write this story is foolish. People who accepted to do this are fools, and the audience who liked it are bigger fools. And I am the biggest fool because this is one of my top 5 favorite films of all time. But why? Even though it's unrealistic, why do we love this movie so much? It's all because of one thing: the screenplay. The screenplay of Lagaan is so phenomenal that I would say this is one of the best screenplays in the history of Indian cinema. If it is so great, then why did I call it foolish? Because there are two types in fooling the audience. One, showing something unusual and asking them to believe. And two, making them believe. For example, recently Game Changer released. In that movie, the hero will become an IPS officer, IAS officer, Chief Minister of the state, Chief Election Officer, and Chief Minister again. They just show it, but is it convincing? No. So it becomes harder to believe. This is one type of fooling, taking the audience for granted and thinking they will believe whatever we show. The second type is Lagaan. Ashutosh Gavarkar didn't take the audience for granted. Even he understands his idea is unrealistic. Then how did he make it believable? There are 3 ways to make anything believable. 1. Create a strong reason why your character has to do something unusual. 2. Show the process of achieving it. And 3. Make sure they don't achieve it very easily. Now, what is the reason in Lagaan? A group of villagers in Gujarat were facing a severe drought for 2 years. They don't even have sufficient water or food to eat every day. But the Britishers imposed double tax that year. So the villagers plead the British officer to not impose the tax. But that officer is a sadist. He always puts weird conditions. For example, when the king of their province asks him for a favor, he tells him to eat the meat and consider the job is done. He knows the king is a vegetarian. Still, he insists on it. In the same way, he puts the condition for the villagers also. He says, to avoid the tax, you have to beat us in a cricket match. If you could do that, not just your village, but your entire province does not have to pay any tax for the next 3 years. But if you lose, you have to pay triple tax. Now they have 2 options. Either pay double tax or play the match. Both are unfair because the villagers don't know anything about the cricket. Then enters Bhuvan, a courageous young man. We can see this in his introduction scene also, where the same officer points the gun at him, but he won't be scared at all. He is the one who accepts the bet. All the villagers fight with Bhuvan for accepting the bet and go to the king to cancel the match. But he says, it's not under my control. You don't have another choice now. You have to play and win the match. This is how Ashutosh creates a reason for everything. Why one man should put such a weird condition and why should another man accept it. He establishes both the characters way before and creates a situation where they don't have any other choice except playing the match. That's why, even though it is unrealistic, it becomes believable. So now it's clear why they should play the match. Now we need to see the process of it. Initially, Bhuvan is the only one who believes we can win the match. But not even a single person believes in him. But slowly, 2 people join with him. Later, he inspires 2 other men. So they all start practicing. While they are practicing, he finds 2 other men who are naturally talented at this game. One at catching the ball, another at spin bowling. Looking at their hard work, one more joins them. After being humiliated by the Britishers, another man joins. Even a guy who is not from their village comes to know about the bet and decides to play for them. Finally, the man who hates Bhuvan also joins the team. An English woman feels this bet is unfair, so she helps them in understanding the game. So they practice harder every day and prepare for the match. And finally, the match starts. But the mission to make this bizarre idea believable is accomplished by this time. Because if you have seen the film, by this time we start rooting for the villagers. We feel the pain they all are going through and also see the cruelty and sadism of the Britishers. So no matter what, we don't care about the logic or reality. We just want those poor villagers to win the match. But the screenwriters don't let that happen. They make the villagers struggle even more harder in the game. And finally, when they achieve something after going through a lot of problems, it feels very satisfying. So this is how, by giving valid reasons for why they have to do the impossible and by showing the process of doing it and making that process harder, made it believable. So if you are writing a story, don't let your characters achieve anything so easily. The more they suffer, the more engaging your story will be. It doesn't matter how bizarre or unrealistic your idea is. What matters is how you tell it. So how are you going to tell your story? If you like this video, please press that like button and subscribe to Cinecles to watch more videos like this.